And you had to make the decision there and then.
I had fucking 10 seconds. Exactly like this to the doctor. I go, fuck it.
Do it.
That's exactly what I told her. Fuck it. Send him down. And then...
Now for a lifetime, you have to handle the decision कि Deniel Weber की वजह से तीसरा बच्चा पैदा हुआ है.
Wait, twins is totally random for you? Or is it like running the family?
It runs in my wife's family.
Oh, wow.
There are at least around 6-7 twins in the family running around.
Oh, this is like a thing.
Oh, yeah. So
That's funny. Nisha is the first Weber girl. Ever.
Wow.
Yes.
So she must be spoiled to the teeth.
Well, I mean, I can't wait for season 2. This is going to be the first question back on season 2.
Welcome to Daddy Adventures with Daddy Cool himself, Deniel Weber.
Thank you for having me.
Man, so we're going to start this entire session. It's called a therapy session.
Yeah, this is going to be
This is not
therapy.
chat show. It's a therapy session. Could be yours, could be mine.
And we need this.
We need this. Yeah. All right. Should we get some more coffee?
Yeah. Do you like, what's his name? Harry Styles?
I don't mind. I just, I just need, does this open up? I just want to lie down in a very therapy kind of way. And just, you ask me questions, I ask you questions. But come on, let's start, man. This is going to be so cool.
All right. Here we go. So, yeah.
As I think everybody knows that we are on all the moms group. And I was telling right now, today a message came on the moms group of school that we need a help.
Yeah, of course.
We need a house help. Can somebody help us, please? I said, this is a school group.
But you don't, listen, but when you're in a jam, you don't know where else to turn. And you go, I need to ask every mommy I know at one time, I'm going on the school group. No, I don't do that, but I know why, I get it. When you lose your help, you're fucked. Your whole world is upside down.
That's
yeah,
true, man.
How much work can you get done if you got to sit and look after 3 kids?
So you are a rock star, single, okay? Entrepreneur. But I see you literally, I think, whenever there is, I want the 365 days because we have few days, few
it's a lot
holidays.
Of holidays.
But I see you outside the school waiting for your children to pick them up.
So we made a conscious effort to, in reverse, we were always selfish in our life, and probably like yourself and who's in the industry, who you do whatever suits you, right? I mean, to be fair, we made a conscious effort that we will, whatever their schedule is, comes first. And then we will schedule our world around it. There is nothing that later in life I will say, oh man, she said, or maybe she's not going to be like, I wish I would have shot this extra day or worked this extra event. But we will one day be like, I wish I had more time with our children. Everyone inherently says that at some point of their life. Whether you are on your deathbed or whether your kids grow up and leave the house, you will say to yourself, I wish I had just a little more time to spend with my children. It's a fact. I've seen it in every person. My brother has kids that went to college and are now grown up. My father, before he passed away, my mother's in her 70s. Everyone that you talk to who has a good relationship with their children will tell you that it goes so fast. So then what's the big deal to just reschedule your life to be around your children's schedule?
So we believe in this theory, but we have a little different theory that our life will go on.
Yeah.
The kids have to adjust to our life. So we take them for shoots and we take them for whatever we have to, whatever we do, but they have to be with us.
No, but you're just actually saying it that they're adjusting to your life. But by you taking them on a shoot, that's actually incorrect. You're adjusting your life that you now have children at your workplace. When would you ever thought you would be doing that? So that's actually you.
I never thought of that.
You're saying, you know what? Because there's lots of people that you know that would never do that.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
Exactly.
Who take the kids to work?
Exactly. So Sunny does the same thing. She's like, oh, I'm shooting nearby. I would please bring him to set. And they love to be at set. Like I'm sure your kids love to be at set.
They love
to be either in vanity or on set or whatever it is. It's interesting to them. So it's actually, is you being a good person and a good dad too, to say, I want to open up my world to them. Wow. It's a great thing.
ये मैंने अभी तक I think ये chat शुरू भी नहीं हुआ है. And I think I'm going to take some more advice from Daniel.
No.
But you sound
actually, we all don't know
you
anything.
sound so real, and that's amazing for today's day and age about being on hands-on dad, and that's what, so, I got so involved in the talking, I forgot to mention that this is a daddy adventure show that I'm doing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we are rolling.
Oh, okay. I thought we were in pre-shoot or something.
No. So it's,
Well,
so it's not a typical typical show. It's just that
just starts off in the middle.
yeah, I just see how my dad friends are. I've seen you at a lot of places in school itself, and I'd really found it of interest that you guys have such an crazy life, same way as we do because of this industry. Sometimes there's work, sometimes there isn't, sometimes you're busy, sometimes you're
There's
not.
so much going on.
There's so much going on. How
And we have no normal hours. That's the problem.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I see my other friends. Their children, they know it's from 9 to 6. They have to, and then they have their children's time.
Like I performed last night. I go home at 2:30 in the morning. And I'm dropping Nisha at 8 o'clock at school. I'm dropping my boys at 9 o'clock at school because Sunny flew to Oman last night.
Who does this thing? Who gets up in the morning to take the children to school?
Both of us every day.
Every day, both of you get up.
Because my boys start at 9. So Sunny takes them at 9, I take Nisha at 8. So I go Nisha 8, and then I go right to the gym. And then she's up already also, and then she goes. But she flew last night to Oman for a 9-day schedule. Okay. So I'm on double.
So you have to Jhanda, and you have to Garo out
there.
here.
4 days, I'm taking, because it's now spring break coming up. Then I'm
that's right.
Then I'm taking them to Oman so they can be on set with her. So there you go. Same
There
thing.
you go, right there.
Because she's like, listen, they're not doing anything.
Exactly.
And they'll love to be there. So it's okay. Why not?
That's amazing. What about the nights? Who puts them to sleep?
Both of us, every night. Every night.
Wow.
That's our thing. We love it. We have a whole routine. I make up a story. I improv a story for them every night. That's like maybe a 5 or 7 minute thing, which they like totally look forward to. I read them a book, which is because Sunny is Sikh and I'm Jewish, and obviously we live in a culture that has predominantly Hindu. We read them one religious story almost every
Could
night.
be anything or
anything.
related
I
to.
even have, we have a Bible of King James, and I'm not Catholic at all. We read them a religious story. I read it to them. And then I like improv into the story also, because I think it's very important for them to understand context of like just how different people think and how different people are brought up, and they now are able to relate. Like they go, oh, my friend's name is Abraham. And now we totally understand because we just read that story in the Bible. And I'm like, okay, see, now you understand. And so this is a big thing. That, my boy's name is Noah. So we just finished the story of Noah's Ark. And now he's like, oh, now I totally understand why. So I think it's important to have connection.
Speaking of names, by the way, your wife's full name is Karanjeet Kaur Bohra.
Yeah.
My name is Karanvir Bohra.
Karanvir Bohra.
B. Bohra.
Bohra.
Yeah, so she's Karan Bohra.
Yeah.
I am Karanvir Bohra.
What's your middle name?
Veer.
Veer is your middle name.
Yeah.
And Veer comes from what?
I'm a Rajasthani.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
From Rajasthan.
So we also make mixed cultures, like a Rajasthani and a Sikh got married.
Oh,
that way.
very cool.
So when I read the name, I knew she was Karanjeet, okay, aka Sunny, but when I didn't know her surname was Bohra. So that was like, for me it was hysterical. I was telling my wife, I was like, she's a Bohra, I'm a Bohra.
Her father's from Chandigarh, her mother's from...
Yeah, Bohra is a Punjabi. They're
Yeah.
Sikhs. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what.
Yeah, so it's important. So, so that's the nighttime routine. And then she puts them all to sleep, and that's it. Every night, same thing.
Do you sing to them?
Do I sing to them? She sings to them every night. I do the
One
stories.
who's the rock star?
I do the stories. She does a lullaby to them. They really like it. Even though they're not babies, I think they just love that they can still
Her
get
voice.
that out of their mother.
So what does she sing, Hindi or English?
No, English, and they always want, it's weird, like Asher likes a Bob Marley song.
What?
Yeah, big don't worry. He just
About
likes it. And then he's like laughing.
It's really good. Like everything will be all right.
Yeah,
It's relaxing.
And then he just laughs. I think that he can get her to sing it to him every night. And then so they all have their own thing.
I sing them a religious song too.
Yeah, you do a religious
yes.
song?
So it's a Krishna bhajan.
Yeah.
And it's really soothing.
See, that's amazing.
It's beautiful. So
And
it goes,
that does
it goes into
great-
English, and then it gets into a Sanskrit.
that's so
and
cool.
they keep saying, so they identify with whenever that song plays. They say, hey,
Exactly.
that's our go-to song to sleep.
Yeah.
You know.
It'll have meaning for them for the rest of their life.
life.
You know that.
Yeah.
And listen, life is life. And when you're no longer here, they will always know and remember that you spent that time. Just like I do with my father. I know every single thing, something that makes me reminisce of something. I go, oh, my father or mother used to do this. That's what happens. So this is great that you do that.
Do your children ever ask you how you and Sunny met?
Yeah, we tell them in Las Vegas.
Well, how did you guys meet? How did you propose to her?
That's two totally different stories. We met in Las Vegas. There was a award show and convention going on. She was at that, and I was performing at Mandalay Bay in Vegas. And after my show, someone from my band knew one of her friends, and then mutually, she was actually supposed to go on a date with someone else, and that person didn't show up. He's a very big comic named Pauly Shore, and some weird thing.
Comic?
Yeah.
To a rock star.
Yeah, so something really weird happened. But she was never into like this kind of thing. Like, I looked like this for 25 years already more.
Dude.
So she was like, this is not my style.
Every woman says that we're not into this kind of thing.
No,
because,
no.
It
comes from like a conservative Punjabi home.
So that is the upbringing. Yes, we all have that. But deep down inside, every woman loves a bad boy.
Her father was like, what is this?
What is this thing?
Totally like. He was like, he used to call me Tattoo Master, because he like never seen anyone like this. So we met there, and then we spoke a little bit, and then I was living in New York at the time, and she was coming to New York for. Do you remember Howard Stern?
Of course.
So she was coming for the Howard Stern show for a book tour, and for some coffee table book that she was part of, and so she went on the show, and then I was doing some rehearsals in the city, and I got in touch with her, and I said, hey, I heard you here. I was listening to Howard Stern. I heard you here. Would you love to come to dinner tonight? And we went to dinner, and that was it. Yeah. And then we got married.
So marriage was 2011.
Marriage was 2011. Met in 2008.
And your first daughter was 2017. No, 15.
No, she was born in 15, but she came to us in 17.
So how did that happen? Like, what made you think that you want to
adopt?
First, be a dad. Because you have to mentally be prepared and mentally be ready. Marriage is different, and being
I don't think
father,
I was mentally prepared at all. I don't think I was like, I don't know. Is that like a thing you really get? Were you like mentally prepared?
Yeah, you have. It's a decision. It's a huge decision that.
No, I know, but I don't. Even if I could have hyped myself up, it's not like I would have really known what.
Whose thought was it?
Definitely hers first.
Hers.
Yeah.
How was your reaction?
Well,
what was your first reaction when she said
the sequence of events was like, she was like, I don't think that I really want to get pregnant because I'm working nonstop and I love shooting and I just don't want to take like a year and a half off or whatever. So we should look into surrogacy. And at that time, we were here in Andheri, and someone has taken us during, I think, Christmas time to St. Catherine's, which is a orphanage off Desai Road. There's about 300 girls that are there. And someone had taken us there for Christmas to give gifts to the children there. His name is Hitesh. And so he said, oh, come with me. I go there. I drop gifts and food over there. And I said, okay, that's cool. I was blown away by what was going on in that facility and how beautiful these children were. And like I said, it's 300 girls. They're segmented into 100, 100, 100. They each have been through different traumas. 100 come from trafficked and rescued. 100 are HIV positive, and 100 come from either being left. And yeah, it's correct. So it like changed everything in my mind. And I said, am I allowed to adopt a child from here?
Oh my, really?
First, Sonny said, or Karen said, we should adopt a child. And I was like, I never thought of this, but this is like, this is like crazy, we should do it. But the way it's set up here in India is you can't just identify an orphanage or a home. Yeah, because there's so much crazy stuff that goes on with trafficking. So you can't just identify and then go and be like, I want to adopt a child. The process is unbelievable here. It is so much.
Is it easy? Is it easy?
No, it's so difficult. And I've helped 2 people go through the process, and it is so difficult. There's so much red tape. There is endless documents, cross-verification, checks, home studies. There is so much that goes on so that child doesn't end up in a bad environment or, again, being trafficked.
So in a way which is good
It's amazing.
It's
should be like
amazing.
that.
Yeah, it should be because it's
with all the clout and any money that I wanted to pay to try to expedite.
they would
It
not.
took me almost 2 years, and I was number 5,000 on the list. And
No way.
And I know everyone at the head ministry.
No, you mean it took you 2 years to get
Nisha.
Nisha?
Yeah. 2 years for them to match us with a child. And so St. Catherine's became our home study base, basically. They would come to our house every few months. They do home checks.
My
And then they
goodness,
report back to the
wow.
government. And then it's a whole entire thing through a program called Kara. And like I said, I knew everybody from the top down in Kara. And it did not matter.
So if you would want to advise anyone for adoption, you would recommend.
Listen, if you have patience and you are willing to go through the process, you should definitely do it if that's what you want to do.
And what would be the best way?
You first go on Kara's website,
Yeah.
and it takes you through the 9 million things that you need to follow and follow the process, which is good. It's for the safety of a child.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
no. We
And
believe
then
that.
my situation was totally bizarre because we were U.S. passport holders, and then Nisha's born an Indian passport holder. She's born in Latur. So we had to get also permission from the State Department in the U.S., who then has to correlate here with the embassy and the consulate here. They send documentation for approvals here. Then the heads of embassy here had to then meet with Kara.
Kara,
The head- Kara is like the central, what is it?
How do you spell it? How do you spell it?
C-A-R-A.
Kara.
Kara, yeah. That's the organization in the government that handles.
Okay,
Yeah, they
okay.
fall under
So you
that.
just go to the website. That's
Yeah,
a
you
very
go to the
crucial
website, that's
information. That's a
yes.
very crucial information for anyone who wants to adopt.
And they fall under the MEA, so.
So you go to the Kara's website, and that's where you can
start.
get.
That's how you start.
Super.
And
super.
so then we had to have the US side and the Indian side coordinate. And then so she was born obviously with a Indian birth certificate and Indian passport. Then we had to work backwards, which the pandemic started. The pandemic started, so it took us 4 years to get her a US passport, which was a whole crazy process. And then the boys.
Yeah, exactly.
So
How are the boys?
And then the boys, because like we said, we didn't want to have natural birth, just because.
So what is the age difference between Nisha and the boys?
21 months.
So within 2 years.
Yeah, 21 months, just under 2 years.
Yeah, just under 2 years. So how did you, like, when you
But
already
she
got
was 21 months old. No, it's 21 plus 9, sorry. She was 21 months old when we got her, and they were born in February, so it's July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. So 6 of 21. So.
almost 3.5.
No,
No.
they're
I think that's
just
2
under,
years.
under 2.5 years difference.
2.5
Yeah.
years. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Ah. So how do you happen? How do you manage to get the boys then?
So we went-
once you're happy, like, okay, just one girl.
No,
that'll be good.
the surrogate was pregnant before we even got Nisha to us.
Oh.
Yeah. So when we landed in Los Angeles for the last transfer for surrogacy, we had been notified by the government that we are getting Nisha that same day. So then I called, she was shooting Splitsvilla, and she was in Jim Corbett. And I said, you have to take a charter plane right now from Jim Corbett, and you have to go to Latur. You have to go meet Nisha. You have like 1 week to do this, otherwise she'll get put with a different family. So they send like this whole form, this is your daughter, we've matched her, but you need to go meet her once, blah, blah, blah. So it was the whole thing. So I was on the runway in LA, and I said, should I not go to the surrogate transfer now that they matched with her? She said, listen, this is God's way of like saying, you know, you're having a family, like you're having a family
You're
now.
having a big family.
So she chartered a plane the next morning, and then she went to Latur, because from Jim Corbett to Latur, there's no such flight. Yeah. And she went and met Nisha, and then you can't take her home that day. You have to wait 14 days. And then there's all this government paperwork that has to be done for transfer of birth certificates and all this stuff. And in that time, I went to the surrogate transfer, and that afternoon, and the doctor said, which is such a crazy story, but very typical for us. So
Very typical.
So the first egg or embryo or egg, what, I don't know the right term. I think
Egg is good enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
So so the first egg was transferred, and the doctor said, listen, it's very, very rare, but you can see it connect to the wall of the uterus. Now, of course, things can happen. There could be a miscarriage, there could be anything, but I just want you to know that we can see it on the microscope, whatever it is, that it's attached to the wall, which is really remarkable. Like 1 out of 100 you can see. So
That's really
she
cute.
said, the doctor said, so there's a really good chance that she'll be pregnant, which of course we'll know in a couple of weeks or a month or 6 weeks, whatever. So she's like, you sure you want to send the second egg down or whatever? And I was like, oh man.
But that was your call.
Yeah. So I was like, I think I need to consult my wife on this. But it was like, I'm in LA and she's in La Tour. And I was like.
And you had to make the decision there and then.
I had fucking 10 seconds. She's like, we'd have to
Dude,
know
it
now.
was
And
because
I go,
of you, there's a third child.
So then I go exactly like this to the doctor. I go, fuck it.
Do it.
That's exactly what I told her. Fuck it. Send him down. And then, 6 weeks later or something, doctor called and they're like, you're having twins. And I was like, oh boy. I was like, uh-oh.
What was Sunny's reaction, man?
Listen, she loved it. She thought it was the best. My dad was like, at first he was like, I'm not sure how to actually react to all this.
This is crazy.
And then he also said, my dad said to me, he's like, only you would mess with the whole system and then end up with 3 children at one time. You couldn't just do it normal. Nothing you do is normal, he said.
This is hilarious.
So that's how everything happened. And there we go.
Oh, man.
Big decision to put on me. So I was so nervous.
But you did it. Oh. Now for a lifetime, you have to handle the decision कि Deniel Weber की वजह से तीसरा बच्चा पैदा हुआ है. But you know what? Tell me one thing, because being a twins dad and having a third child.
Yeah.
So I always saw that.
Wait, twins is totally random for you, or is it like running the family?
It runs in my wife's family.
Oh, wow.
There are at least around 6-7 twins in the family running around.
Oh, this is like a thing.
Oh, yeah. So
that's funny.
And it took us 10 years. She didn't want a child.
Yeah.
Maybe I said, we want to just kind of
live your life. Yeah, we were the same.
Live our life, man. We were still young.
The same
have
way.
fun.
We waited from 2008 till 2017.
17, yeah. So, do you feel that when you have twins, or when you have in your case, all the kids together, that you miss out on a chance of enjoying with just one child?
This is a wonderful question. I'm so glad you asked this. But I just want to know something. Do you have identical twins?
No, they're fraternal.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because I missed out. I feel we both missed out. Because they both were loved.
Yeah.
But now that when we have the third child, she gets so much of attention.
So this is a very interesting question. So me and Karen, we discuss this all the time. So we have come up with a thing where a few times a week, to the best of our ability, we actually, like, she'll take Asher somewhere just by himself, or I'll take Nisha somewhere just by myself, and we rotate. And we spoke to all 3 of them about this. And we said, it's important for us to also have individual time with you guys, because it's so easy to just be grouped up as 3 children.
Amazing.
Now, I was one of 3 boys growing up, and I was always grouped up. All 3 of you dumped in the back of a station wagon. All 3 of you dumped there. It was just like, you're all going to your grandma's house. It was just, we didn't even have names at that point. It was just like, you're all going, which is cool. My parents, that's just the way you did it, There was nothing wrong with it. We all grew up perfectly fine. But we realized that having that individual time is really important. And it's not easy to do, as you know.
That's
it's
true.
So hard.
No, it's not.
So even if it's an hour, we go to a pizza place or go to an ice cream shop or something, or the arcade. We do it sometimes with just one, and we try to do it as often as possible.
It's God's grace that we can take all 3 together.
It's amazing.
Taking them separately is a task.
It's
it's not easy. Even people who have 2 children who are pretty much the same age. But this is so good. This is amazing. We do the same thing.
And you know what? They act totally different. You really get to see a different side of your child that I think is so special. It's such a sweet side that I just feel like is maybe lost because they're either trying to compete with their siblings, or they're fighting with their siblings, or they're yelling at each other, or they're just like, give me that, that's mine.
So how do you handle this, man, when they're all together?
Yeah.
And the fights are bound to happen.
Yeah.
One is going to hit the other, one is going to scratch the other. They're going to scream.
This is my favorite fucking talk show I've ever been on. This is like therapy, actually. This is like a therapy. This should be labeled.
I'm learning so much.
Should be labeled some therapy session.
I've not come here to take an interview. I've come here to learn, take some advices, man, because I really want to know. How do you do it?
This would be my ideal Friday night, having a glass of wine and drinking and talking about this. Okay, so what's your question? How do I deal with that?
How do you deal with this? Please, I don't even want to give you any options.
We have different ways of dealing with it. So I'm sort of a no bullshit person. like my father was. So I'm stern. I have a look that I give, which is...
What is the look? Show me the look.
The look starts here. I'm like this. I'm like,
Okay, I can,
don't
but they don't.
dare
For them,
do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't even start this right now. Nisha, do not touch your brother. And then she'll be like, okay. Like, they get the look.
No, give one look to the camera.
Don't even start this right now.
Yeah, it's like the same. You know what? I have a typical look as that. Yeah.
Don't. So they're still at the age that they fear that look. So
I love that.
so that usually works. But if I walk in and it's already like mid happening and they're like, you know, whatever, one is yelling at the other or one is crying because they something ridiculous, you know, whatever, then I usually have to like raise my voice and be like, all right, what happened? Jesus, like relax. Nothing is so crazy. It's a toy. Like something like that.
Exactly, it's a toy.
Yeah. My wife is more of like separating them. She's more into like, all right, you go in your room, you go in your room, until she can figure out what's going on.
Don't you feel that raising a voice would like kind of startle them? Or at that point, it doesn't
I do
matter?
it. You know, I do it. My voice can startle anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like an adult can be startled when I get
Yeah, but
angry.
he's so soft-spoken.
Yeah, but I have this tone when I'm angry that's like people get freaked out. Or they think I'm angry and I'm actually not. And I just have the
No, but
ability.
we have to fake that.
Yeah,
we
and I
have
can
to fake
like,
that.
and in 1 minute I'm like back to doing whatever I was doing before. But I know it freaks them out, so that's really good. I have that over them right now.
So who goes back and kind of gets them, okay, it's all good, don't worry.
I do that with Nisha because, you know, daughters and dads.
Yeah.
And she does it with the boys for sure. Yeah. She's like, you know, oh, Noah's sad. Come on. And I'm like, all right, fine. She's like, go talk to him. I'm like, all right.
So
You know, Noah's really sensitive.
Yeah.
Asher's like naughty and like comical. Everything's funny to him. So even if you kind of get mad at him, he sort of will be inwardly laughing. And no, he knows like not to dare let me see that because that'll just end up in so much trouble with him. But he's like laughing at everything. He's just such an easygoing kid where Noah's like so sensitive about everything. Noah's like me. He's like I was that as a child. I was very sensitive if my father yelled at me. Like he's exactly a replica of me. And then Nisha, you know, I mean, she's a different DNA. So
Yeah.
she's like, I have to like dissect Nisha
Wow.
in her personality because with my boys, I can see things that are traits of Karen's and
exactly.
mine,
Yeah.
like you do in your
That's
children.
right.
And I'll be like, I did that as a kid. But like with Nisha, I've never done any of that as a kid. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I have to like learn how to deal with it. So she's like an experiment to me in terms of behavior because number one, there's never been any girls in my family. I'm one of 3 boys. My brother has only boys, children.
Wow.
There's no girls. Nisha
And
is
in
the
Sunny's
first
family?
girl. Nisha is the first Weber girl ever.
Wow.
Yes.
So she must be spoiled to the teeth.
Well, I mean, you know, it probably is very beneficial to be the only girl.
Well, I know, absolutely.
You know, yeah. So like, again, behavior-wise, it's very, for all of us, it's like not something we're used to. Like if something is going on, I'm like, okay, let me figure this out because we've never had daughters to deal with. So
Oh, man.
it's interesting.
This is fun. This is
As you know, look, twin daughters, you're going to see.
No, it is. It's
7 is the tail end of it was cute and now, wait a minute, that's weird what they're doing.
Yeah,
And then it turns
is.
into like
I haven't
it's
reached there yet.
premeditated what they're doing. And you're like, whoa, she did that on purpose. Yeah, you're in that zone. It's about to start. And it comes from school
You know,
too.
I thought this whole session would be therapeutic. Okay.
It should be insightful.
I think I'm going to go back being insightful and a little scared.
it's what's going to happen is going to happen. It's how you
I
deal
will
with it.
deal
They're
with
going to do what they're going to do, right?
They're gonna do anyway,
So
yeah.
it's all about you at this point. You can either let everything make you crazy or you can just learn to, and I always tell these people, maybe just learn to try to like figure out why they're doing certain things. Every kid does things. You sound like you were a perfect kid. There's no way.
No.
Exactly.
Never. Ever.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I know. So
Yeah.
my main problem with them is they can do whatever they want. They just don't eat. They just don't eat.
Yeah. So are you like, finish your food already? Does that irritate you?
It does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Nisha used to be like that. Now it's Asher for me. I'm like, dude, you cannot sit at the table for 30 minutes eating one little thing. It makes me crazy.
2 hours.
Yeah. I see. I can't. I go. I'm putting a timer on. I'm leaving this table. I can't
And then,
deal with this.
so please explain, because you and me are not the only ones. I think that the world is out there.
Yeah. I've seen parents chase their kids trying to feed them like at grown-up ages, which also makes me crazy.
My mom used to.
Yeah, but
she used to hold this hand and just wait.
But our generation can't do that. That's done. So.
But do you do it?
I don't.
You don't.
I don't feed my child. My
Not
kids
at all.
My daughter's 8. My boys are 6. There's no feeding anymore. Like we were like doing everything.
But you're lucky. You're lucky that your children are eating. There are a lot of children out there who get food and are not eating.
Slow. Yeah, Asher's so slow right now. That's just his thing. You know, he'd rather just like mess around at the table. So I find that I sit and I eat dinner with them every night. So I eat dinner in like 2.5 minutes. I'm just like, and I'm done. And then I sit and I conversate with them. But after fucking 30 minutes, like, I don't even want to be at that table anymore. I'm like, dude, I got something else to do. So I get irritated. I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, you can stay here. I'm going. And then he's like, everyone's leaving me. I go, everyone is going to leave.
What do you do with these kind of tantrums, these sentimental tantrums?
He doesn't get, he doesn't get a tantrum. He just.
But how do you handle a tantrum?
Oh, God, I'm past that phase already. And as they say, parents forget very easily. So tantrums.
They don't have tantrums anymore?
No, not at this age. No, my kids are done with tantrums.
Yeah, I think it just happens till you're 3 or 4, I think. But they become pretty rebellious. At least mine
My boys aren't rebellious. Your girls are rebellious?
My girls, they just said no.
So you're already in the phase, by the way. You're just not acknowledging that this is the phase. But if you need to label it, you're in the phase. If they're already saying no to something, they're in the phase. You're already like in the pipe and there's no back, there's no going the other way. Yeah.
Why am I getting this feeling? That
Because
you're on this chair and I'm on
I think that they're doing a lot of things that you're just not like coming to terms with, that they are normal 7.5-year-old children. Is that what they are?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. If they're saying no, then they already know that saying no to you, they can get away with, and that's already phase 1.
Shit.
Because when my boys like first said no to me, I was like, those words will never come out of your mouth again to me. And they were like, they were so scared. I was like, you will never say no to me until you're 18 and you're out of my house. Then you can say no all you want. And they're like, okay. But like randomly, like they'll do it. And I'll be like, don't even.
So do you have certain rules for Nisha and certain rules for...
Yes, for sure. Does one method work for all 3 of your children? Does one rule really? Or they all have different personalities. So yeah, they have different rules. Yeah.
I mean, they're all exactly. In fact, one of them is just really, thank you. Thank you, Daniel. This feels good. Let me pour my heart out to you. This really feels good. But it's a fact. One of them will just be so nice. If she wants to sleep, she'll sleep at 9 o'clock.
Exactly.
I have to do nothing.
Exactly.
The other one is going to dance at my head till 12 o'clock.
And needs other set of rules. Yeah.
You had any rules when you were a child? What are the situations?
Yeah, I grew up in a very conservative house.
What was so different when you were growing up as compared to right now? What do you think they don't have right now what you had when you were growing up?
I'll tell you what they do have, and I have. I have help and house help growing up. My parents didn't have that. So they are, if I have to be at work or something where she's shooting and the kids have to go somewhere, let's say Nisha goes to dance class and they're going with a nanny and a driver and my security guard, I never had any of that stuff.
But did you miss it that time? Did you even feel that we need it?
No, I didn't need those people in my life.
Yeah.
And if I needed to go somewhere, I walked or rode my bike. That's how we got places. That's what I was saying. Like, they don't realize how good they have it. Like, when I got to Los Angeles and I pulled the car out of the garage, my daughter goes, "Oh, you know how to drive?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "What world do you live in that you have a driver?" And it's my fault. I mean, listen, yeah, they have drivers. I couldn't even believe those words came out of my mouth. If I ever asked my dad, you know how to drive, I'm surprised. I was like, this is insane. I go, you live in a fucking bubble. I go, you have drivers and a security guard. I go, of course I know how to drive. I'm 46. I could do everything. But she had just never seen me drive. And I was like, my daughter's 6 and never saw me drive. That's so weird.
Yeah, because when my wife is abroad, she drives.
Of course, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's normal human beings do everywhere, by the way.
No, I drive out here. She doesn't drive out here, but
so I don't drive here either.
Yeah. and I don't drive there.
Yeah.
So when they
But you
came-
drive here, so
I drive here.
yeah.
So when they came here, they said, "Dad, do you drive?"
Yeah.
Exactly the same question. I said, "Yeah."
Exactly.
Because we've never seen you drive. I said that it's
Yeah.
it's a little humiliating actually for me. Like,
yeah,
it
I
feels
felt
like,
it weird. Yeah.
It's like you challenge
Yeah.
your ego gets hurt, man. Like, can you even drive?
I was like, I also walked to school every day of my life. Do you know that? Unless it was pouring rain, my mother drove me. So children, I walked every day a mile to school, mile and a half. It could have been 3 feet of snow when we walked. So just take everything you have and be thankful that you get driven and this and dropped off and picked up. That never happened to us.
So how do you go to your children's school for all their functions and
Everything.
Everything.
TN is very organized with
Yeah,
their
we don't
like.
mention the name of schools.
Oh, we don't do it.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just say school. Yeah.
You'll edit that out.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I'll cut it. Yeah.
Good. And I will tell you, that's really smart because, we had a crazy school incident happen.
I know. I know about that.
Yeah, which was nuts, where someone
Yeah.
came to, for Nisha. The last school we were at was not like that. They would like let you know things like a week in advance about major things. Let's say like this creative me thing that
Yeah.
was going on or whatever. I think that's what it was called. Inspire Us.
Inspire us. Yeah.
So they like, in the last school, they would like let you know like 7 or 8 days before. And I go, dude, we don't work normal jobs. Like if she has shoots, I can't cancel a production, right? Or shows or gigs. So it was very frustrating. Or sports days and stuff like that. And you want to be at that stuff. So this school is very organized. We get the calendar and then I put it in my Google Calendar for the whole year, everything that's on those. So I know to keep those days free.
So see, everything is, I mean, I see my life too. Everything is on the internet these days. How do you deflect a question that is asked by a child?
So
Or do you find it awkward?
So is the greater question here is what will my child say later on in life when they like look us up on the internet?
Yeah, absolutely.
For instance.
Yeah.
So because I've been asked this many times. My mother actually first asked me this when I was told her that I was having 3 children. She's like, what are you going to say to them? I go, can we discuss it like after they're born and not, So,
But you might have thought of some like.
no, we're very open with our children with everything. They haven't asked. They of course know that everyone calls Karen Sunny Leone.
Yeah.
Plus they've been on film shoots and they've seen performances and they watch on YouTube dance videos and movies and all that. So they know, they understand that part. They have not got to the point where or anyone in school has said something to them or like, hey, you know what, your parents used to do this or your mother used to do this, whatever. So I haven't had to deal with that question from them. But we are very open as a family. And when it comes, I will sit them down and I will say, look, this is what our job was and this is what we did. And we made a living doing this. And we're your parents. You accept it or don't accept it. That's where it ends.
I like that friendly vibe that you have even with your
We
children.
do that with our children. And this started very early because of Nisha, which was, we know a lot of people who don't tell their children that they're adopted at younger ages. And we did the opposite from the day that Nisha was born. We made her a book of the family that she was with.
Oh, wow.
So she looks at that book, she knows where she came from. And then in the book, it leads to the journey of, then like mid-chapter is pictures of us picking her up and then taking her and then this and that.
But you actually did that?
Yeah, she has it in her room. It's her full life. So she knows every single thing.
That's beautiful.
She should be very well aware of what her journey was, where she came from in La Tour, what it was like. The lady in the it was not like an orphanage like St. Catherine's. It was like a weird, small little home in the middle of La Tour outskirts. And it was like 3 kids only in a home. It wasn't a full regular orphanage like you used to. So when one of the children get adopted, another child would move in. Like that's the max space that they had. I think it was their personal home that they took children in. So Nisha was left when she was 1 day old. She was left outside in a bassinet at that home. And then those people took her in. So they don't even know the parents. So these are just people who took care of her until she was adopted. So there's no record of parents either of her. So it's important that, and this is with everything we do, and with the boys too, because when they get into this, weird argument that siblings do of something of like, I always joke with the boys and I always say, look, technically, I was personally there to pick up Nisha, but you boys were born, and they were born a month early because they were twins, and we weren't expecting. We were expecting a month later from their due date, and twins come early sometimes. And I was in India, and then they were born in Los Angeles. So I say to them always as a joke, I go, there's no ganging up on your sister because I actually physically picked your sister up. But you boys, listen, I came 2 days later, so I don't know, And then they're always man.
They may be like all like,
yeah, then they're like,
give them like 3-4 years. And then they'll be ready like, Dad, come on now.
So I always mess with them.
So do you know which one was the one that you said?
No, I don't, because they were labeled as baby A and baby B for the whole term.
Oh, same as us.
Yeah. And so
for 3 weeks, they were called baby A and baby B.
Yeah, and then they were like one on top of another, and then they like flipped in the womb, and then when we were seeing the pictures, and then, so we don't really know, but we always try to figure out, they're 2 minutes apart, so we try to figure out like who is baby A and baby B, but there's no way to know.
So even they're fraternal, or they're identical?
No, they're fraternal, which I'm happy. There's nothing wrong with identical twins, but I'm very glad that they have very individual looks.
In fact, I'm having the same open daddy chat with another friend of mine.
Yeah.
You know Raghu from Roadies.
Oh yeah, the brothers.
The brothers, they're twins.
Yeah,
they're
correct.
identical.
I know both. Yeah.
And they've had a
Raghu,
different story altogether, man.
Oh yeah, I'm
What's
sure it's
crazy?
very true.
Oh yeah, twins.
Yeah. Right. But they also have twins as children.
No, they don't have any twins.
Oh,
They have like sons, single sons. Yeah.
On
No, but you know
purpose.
what I've seen? Like you were there at the holy party.
Yeah.
And I was just seeing the way Sunny was so involved in making the children have a good time.
Yeah.
Completely. Not just like, okay,
them.
they're there and they're having a good time.
No.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
She was you were part of them,
Yeah.
even you know, like just when they want to be under the shower, she was there playing
Listen, it's for
with
them
the
to have
holy
a great
colors.
time.
So that involvement is so amazing. It's
important.
And you said something so crazy, which makes me ask you this question, that don't you think that we dads are undermined as fathers because the amount of love and amount of, I won't call it an effort because it's effortless, that we put in.
No, I think.
It's always.
Are you worried that your children don't notice, or your
No,
wife?
the world.
The world? Listen, well, the world's a tough place, and get over it. What are you gonna do?
It's always about the moms.
No, yeah, I know, but listen, I'll tell you this.
Hey, no diplomacy.
Your wife might not say it every day.
No diplomacy.
I won't. Your wife might not say it every day, but she knows that you're a good father, and that's all that matters. I don't need to hear my wife say it every day, but I know that she knows that I'm a good father, because every wife or every husband, in turn, knows when the other parent is not a good parent.
That's
So it works both ways.
Yeah, so when I'm with my wife's friends or anything, so those dads says, because of you.
Yeah, see, that's how you know you're a
That's how
superstar.
you know.
Remember that. I get the same thing. Oh, you make us look bad.
You make us look
I'm like,
bad.
why? Because I'm so fucking involved? I go, maybe you should be involved. I just tell it to them. I go, why? Because I show up? I go, wow, really? That's like such a weird thing.
Because down there also.
Oh, you're always making us look bad. You're at everything. You're this. I go, okay, I like to be at it. I'm not doing it because I'm getting like
they feel
some paycheck for it. I go, I love to do it.
They feel guilty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what it is.
My wife's always telling me that you're this. I go, shut the fuck up. I know that's people.
That feels good, man. Actually, yeah, we don't.
Exactly.
That's the time.
That's when you know you're doing all right.
Yeah, we need no pat on the back, because that is the pat on the back. You need to be a present dad.
That's it.
That's it, really.
The children remember.
What was your dad the way you are?
My dad he owned his business, and he worked crazy hours Monday through Friday. And then Saturday, Sunday was only father-children.
Wow.
Every minute. Every minute. His schedule, he couldn't change during the week. That's just the way his factory was. He had to be there. So, and if there was anything in the evening that we had that was after 7 p.m., he would make sure that he got there, because school stuff, like when I was a child, was in the evening. Not like our kids. It's so weird. This generation, it's like 9 a.m. parents have to be there for fucking this. I go, oh my God. Like
8 a.m.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, like.
They're going to grab at 6:30.
And it's like 4 hours long or 5 hours. Like, so I'm like, never was like that. And in the West, they like, especially with the last generation, they knew that parents and fathers were working parents. So they scheduled school stuff. It was 8 p.m., 7:30 p.m.
Oh, really?
Always.
But you know what?
Parent-teacher conferences were at 8 p.m. I used to go there with my parents at 8 p.m. I remember it was dark.
Wow.
School events, school plays, theater plays at school. Always at night. Always at night.
Yeah, but we follow like the old school, the Gurukul kind of schooling actually. The school would start at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
Yeah. So
You know,
that's why we still follow that.
So,
Yes.
I mean, I don't mind it in the morning. It's actually kind of nice, but it was always different. So my dad was always present for those things because they took place in the evening, because it felt like the school like knew that parents worked or that dads worked, especially back then, and they got off late and they needed to be a part of it. So it was nice. They like almost catered it in that way. It felt like. So you'd show up in his work uniform all the time, blue and blue Dickies uniform, always.
Always.
Yep,
So before we
sure.
get on the rapid fire,
Yep.
what is that one advice you would give parents? Fathers especially. Forget parents. Fathers.
Be present. And the same advice that the lady with triplets in South Africa airport told me, which is all the shit that you buy them is amazing, but they won't remember 90% of it. If you can afford it and you can have it, have help. Because if you have multiple children, you do need help. It'll allow you to have more independent time within each of them and also allow you to have some balance, which is very important.
I completely
Balance is very
completely missed out this question. How do you get this me time, man? How do you manage this me time?
I have a hands-on wife who is a part of everything, and I have great help at home, and I am able to find balance with all of that. That's very important.
Oh man.
And thank God my kids are at an age now that they do go to school for 8 hours in the daytime, and that's like amazing.
2-3 more years and then
Yeah, but
they're afraid of what they
that's
want, they'll
zero
manage.
To, 0 to 2 was like crazy.
That was crazy.
Zero.
But luckily that was pandemic time. So,
No, I find that harder though.
really, I think it was
Yeah.
great. I loved it.
Oh, I didn't like that. Well, who wants to be locked up? You loved it?
We made a baby during lockdown.
Yeah, but
When we were locked
did
up.
you find that your children would have been 3 years old, right?
So they were 3 years old, and
Yeah.
because the Wi-Fi was down, so we didn't have anything to do, so we made a baby.
But what about your 3-year-olds? It wasn't hard to like keep them busy during a year of lockdown
We
or more?
loved it. We would keep them busy by entertaining them by doing
Nice.
something or the other.
Yeah, you had to be
playing
really
games.
creative.
Yeah,
We were
because
very
there was
creative.
nothing. There was
Yeah.
the work was like scarce.
Yeah.
It was not much.
Yeah, of course.
Everything was social media, YouTube, Instagram. We would just do stuff. My wife and me, we had the best time.
No, that's
during
very
lockdown.
nice. That's good. You know what my neighbor told me in Los Angeles? If you haven't called the police on each other and you haven't killed each other, then you're already doing better than 90% of other people. I was like, oh, that's weird advice. Or weird saying. That's what my neighbor in LA.
Oh man.
Because he was like, how are you guys doing? I was like,
How are you
we're
guys
okay.
doing?
But then,
All right, bro. Let's just dive into it.
okay.
Okay.
I don't know anything about Bollywood, so
Oh no.
don't give me rapid fire.
No, rapid fire again about father
Okay,
only.
good.
There's nothing
Okay,
about
good.
Bollywood.
Okay, good.
This show is not about
Yeah.
Bollywood. This show is not about your
Most
work.
rapid
This show is
fires.
not about you being a rock star. This show is not about Sunny. This show is about you
All right, I
and
like
me
this.
being dads.
Nice. I like this.
Absolutely.
I like some meat
All right.
time.
So let's
Tell
go.
me.
Okay. Rapid fire. Question number 1. Who gets up more during the night to change diapers?
We are, thank God, past the diaper phase. But before, first it was Sunny, and then in the later of the years, it was both of us.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to system down real fast. The twins is a different system.
Two is a different system. That's true. That is true.
Yeah, it's not the same shit. And by the way, I'm interrupting your rapid fire. When you hear people who complain when they have one child, don't you just want to be like, shut the fuck up, dude? Are you
Seriously, look
kidding
at
me?
this.
Like,
Absolutely.
Right?
I would
absurd.
say that.
I'm putting this out there for the world.
Yeah.
God bless you have one child. Like, get it together. It's one child.
And they say, one
my
child, I'm
God.
going through this.
Oh
How
my
can you
God.
manage 3?
Yeah.
We are managing 3.
Exactly.
So you learn from us. So true. Anyway, we are happy. Okay. Who's the most stricter one?
Half. I am probably stricter with the boys. She is stricter with Nisha.
Okay, if you would have a superpower, what would it be for your child?
To create more time in a day so that I can have individual time with them. And that way they would be happier about that, and so would I.
So you basically, you
power
are
would
pretty
be-
much have that superpower because you've sorted it out.
No, I need more hours in the day.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, that's my superpower. I need to create more hours in the
You need to
day.
create more hours.
Yeah.
That's an interesting superpower, huh?
Yeah.
To create more hours.
I need more hours.
Yeah, so 24 is not enough.
Definitely not enough. I don't know who came
How
up
about if
with
we sleep less?
Maybe, but yeah, that's true actually. They get really
So we need
good
more
night's sleep.
day hours actually. We need 24 day hours
Yeah.
and 12 night hours.
Yeah, because I don't know. Whoever came up with this really didn't think this through for the long term.
Okay. Who gets up and gets them ready for school?
We both get up.
You both get up.
Yep. I get up maybe 40 minutes earlier because Nisha goes to school earlier. But she's up by the time Nisha is leaving, and then she is saying goodbye to Nisha and getting the boys ready.
Okay. Who cooks for the kids?
Thank God we have a wonderful cook, and then Sunny is giving recipes and or cooking every day.
Oh man.
She loves to cook, but she loves to give recipes even more.
So basically,
That's
Sunny,
like her Instagram thing.
so Sunny has to take care of 4 children.
No, I have very weird diet, so always. So yeah, the cook can only deal with me. Yeah, so-
Okay. When any one of the child gets hurt,
Yes.
who do they go to?
Oh, that's tough. I think it depends what the hurt is. So like Nisha was afraid to pull her tooth out yesterday. It was like hanging. And of course she came right to me. And I was like, let's get this done. If it's like Noah, because he's more sensitive, he'll go right to his mother. Asher's very gentle. I don't know. Knock on wood, he like never gets hurt. He's like
Touch wood, man, touch wood.
He's such a gentle boy.
Okay. Who is the naughtiest and the brattiest of the 3?
So they like sort of fall like in the Bible. There's like there was 4 sons actually, but they really say 3 in the Bible, which is like the wicked, they say the wise, and the 3 sons. So and then there's a 4th, which is the son that never asked. But I would say that Asher is naughty, Noah is sweet and sensitive, and Nisha is the wise. Very, very bright child. It's
Amazing.
that Latour something. You know, there's a study in India you should see. Did you know that the highest IQs, this is going to blow your mind. There's a higher population of IQs in Latour than anywhere in Dia.
What?
I was told this by 2
Latour has the highest number of...
IQ, highest number of actual IQ based to be a genius is in Latour.
You know, Ritesh Deshmukh is going to be really happy because he's from Latour, his constituency from Latour, and they say, and you're saying that the highest level of
2
IQs
doctors
come
told me
from
separately.
Latour.
I did not believe it, and it is factual. And I'm not saying my daughter's a
Dude,
genius,
we need
but
to go
she's
there.
very bright, very
Wow.
abnormally bright.
That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
really interesting.
But being really bright doesn't mean that you don't do dumb things either.
No,
So,
it's
yeah.
just the
'Cause
IQ
I
level.
always use that against
Yeah.
her. I'm always like,
I
if
didn't expect
someone's
this from
so
you.
bright, that's really just a dumb decision. I love to use that line at her. I'm like, you're actually like that bright, but yet you just make a decision like that. That just makes no sense to me.
Wow, I think
like
really
the perfect line.
this is something because
Yeah.
Kerala was considered to be like the
Oh, really?
highest literacy rate and the IQ levels and everything about it. Kerala was
Yeah, so I don't
great.
think literacy actually doesn't have to do with how they measure IQ.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot of
but
other
still it's-
factors.
yeah,
and it's based on per population size. So Latour is much smaller than Kerala.
Yeah,
so then Kerala is like that's a big.
No, but this is something new. Who is daddy's child of the 3?
Nisha
Really?
and Noah. Nisha and Noah.
Nisha, Noah, and
Asher's all mama.
fully mama.
Yeah. Sweet.
So
boy.
doesn't Sunny feel jealous that
No.
1 against 2?
No. She gets Noah's sort of split for sure, but because he's like a replica of me, he's like basically a mini me. He just comes
So
to me for
cute,
everything. Yeah.
One thing that you would give your child that you didn't get. Don't tell me house help.
That's a good question. One thing I would give my child that I didn't have. God, my parents worked like dogs to give me everything. I don't know. That's a really good question. I'll have to get back on that. I don't know.
This
I
was
can't
supposed
think
to
of
be a
like one
rapid
thing
fire.
that I didn't have
Yeah.
as a child that I miss. So that other children had. So like, I don't know. That's a great question.
I can help you with one.
Please tell me.
How about classes? As in, like, my parents never put me in classes like gymnastics, music.
I played sports, so-
cricket, or
yeah, but for us, like in the West, we played outside. That was like the thing. You came home and the sun went down or the streetlights went on. So like
Yeah,
we were
would play
busy doing
outside,
other
but
stuff. We didn't
like
need to be in
focused,
class.
Like focused.
We
like,
didn't need that shit, though.
Like in this industry, you're supposed to have like 5 of these things, like prerequisites.
We didn't care about that stuff. We played in the dirt. We played in the schoolyards. We played on the street. We rode our bikes everywhere. This was before.
well, so this was no help.
Yeah, this is no help, and this is before.
No, I'm saying this was no help. So now tell me,
Yeah.
what is that one thing that?
I don't know. I don't know what that one thing is. I had a great childhood. We just thought of crazy shit and we did it as a kid. So you had to have a great imagination as a child during our generation.
Yeah.
Because you just weren't handed shit. So, I don't know. I would say, I could say what, maybe in the reverse, one thing that they shouldn't have that we didn't.
No, there are too many things.
Yeah, exactly.
There are too many
right?
things.
There's so
Yeah.
many things.
So I guess, the answer for this question, probably we'll do it in next season.
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Over
Next
like
age,
this-
next age bracket of
Yeah,
children.
next age bracket, I think that would be good.
When we have lots of
Yeah.
complaints, you're like, is your child doing this?
So one thing, you guys please put it down in the comments that what is that one thing that you would give your child that you didn't get? Yeah, I think that would be good. Let's see what people have to say. Interesting, man. This was great, Daniel, honestly.
Yes, thank you for having me. This was very nice. This is
This
very
was-
therapeutic.
For me.
Yeah. I do have a question about your twins.
Yeah?
Because I'm so curious about this.
Okay.
So, first off, do you know other people that have boys the same age?
Then my twins, yes, I do. They're in the class itself. You know Shabbir?
No, I meant twin boys.
Twin boys. He's got twin boys.
Oh, they are twin boys?
Yeah, they're twin boys.
And what do they tell you? That do they find them easy?
No, they're like fire.
Oh, energy. A lot of energy.
Too much of energy, man.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah, but it's
so
cool.
I feel very
Nobody
happy.
wants boring kids.
I feel very happy that I got 3 girls because they're so nice. Yes, they have their
Yeah.
moments, but they're so warm and it's soothing. It's amazing.
I can't
it's
wait
just therapy.
I can't wait for season 2. This is going to be the first question back on season 2. We're going to play this, and then we're going to...
So this is the beauty, okay? That's why a series does really well because
Yeah.
it has a season 2.
Yeah. This is going to be the
We'll
greatest.
come back with season 2.
Greatest start to the
we'll
next one.
We'll be exchanging seats.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, good.
You
okay.
ask me and
Oh, all right.
I'll
I like
answer.
this. Yeah. You're going to need therapy by season 2.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
sure of it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.